All right, time for our speakers. Jeff, if you'll introduce them.
Okay, I'd like to introduce our speaker, John Harris. I've known John for a long time. He's given me 2 of his classes, and my son, when he was working out of an office, had John come in and do a training class for the entire office. I think this is something that all of us need to go through at least once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times to stay up on this. And I know it's been good for me, and I'm sure it's going to be good for all of you. So without any ado, here's John Athens.
Okay, I didn't really know how I was going to start this, so let me do it this way. Hi, my name's John.
Hi, John.
I'm a biker. It's been 17 days since I've been on a bike. Oh, wrong group. I'm sorry.
No, we're probably feeling it right now.
Are you? Oh, can you hear me? Okay. My name's John Athens. Tell you a little about me. I am a retired firefighter. I was with Gwinnett County Fire Department for 22.5 years. Was on, thank you, great job. I was on every specialty team that Gwinnett County had. I'm an adrenaline junkie, what can I say? Okay? I've been a paramedic now in the state of Georgia, licensed for 46 years. I worked in private service. I spent 8 years at Grady EMS downtown Atlanta. Loved it. Loved it. Spent my last 22 with Gwinnett, and now I'm fortunate enough. 9 years ago, I was asked to come on board at Gwinnett Technical College and bring up the next generation of me. Y'all need to be very afraid. Very afraid. Okay? I have the pleasure of bringing up young minds, and I will tell you, this generation right now, oh my God. It is. It is. When you think about it. But they're fun. And I get to entertain them, they get to definitely entertain me. So we can get to do stuff like that. I am now at school considered a subject matter expert, whatever the hell that means. Figure it out. But we get to have fun anyway. I was asked to come talk tonight a little bit about first aid, which is something I'm a subject matter expert at, I could say. So I wanted to kind of let this be an open discussion and let you ask me what you want to know about first aid. I've got a couple of toys here I want to demonstrate. I'm going to need a volunteer for that.
Ted, you did so well with that vest.
I'm going to need a volunteer that knows nothing about my toys.
Ted volunteers for the defib. Yeah, my toys.
We got a volunteer. Okay, we'll get back to them later. Anyway, what is first aid? Who can tell me what first aid actually is? Help. Y'all speak up. I'm old.
It gets to you.
Aid. To define first aid, it's immediate care given to somebody who's sick or hurt. Okay? And you know something? When you're riding in a group, and there's a lot of bikes, that's hard to do. Especially when somebody goes off an embankment. Because do you need to go chasing them?
That never happens.
Who's going to take care of them if you don't go down there? How many ride in the mountains? Duh.
It depends on who runs off the mountain.
Okay. Ted, depends is something you wear. Okay? Anyway, think about this. We're riding up in a mountain somewhere. We're enjoying our summer day. And some idiot, okay? And if you do have cell service, you're going to call 911. 911 operates 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, okay? 24/7, 365, and I'll make you a promise. They will get to you eventually. What are you going to do for the next 20 to 30 minutes?
They didn't find your bike till the next
Think about that, okay? That's what you need to be thinking about as a group, okay? What are you going to do when your best friend goes off an embankment, crashes, hits something? What are you going to do for the next 20 to 30 minutes? How many of you in here know how to use a tourniquet properly? Okay, not everybody does. Everybody that rides a motorcycle needs to know how to use a freaking tourniquet. Who doesn't know how to use it? Who does not know how to use this? Come over here.
Ooh.
It goes around the neck.
It does.
Around the mouth.
Okay, let me back up. I have to make a disclaimer. The neck is not a pressure point for bleeding of the scalp. If your head is bleeding, you cannot squeeze their neck, even if you want to.
Even if you want to.
A tourniquet like this, you should be able to put it on in what time frame? How many seconds?
10 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay? Her arm is bleeding. I slide it up here, I slap it on, I pull it around, I tighten it, and I screw it around. And it's done. It's done. You need to be able to put a tourniquet on in at least 30 seconds.
Now, what if you don't have, all you have is like a belt?
A belt.
Belts don't work.
Or
No, not.
a do-rag.
A do-rag will work.
But a
Belts don't work, guys. You can't tighten a belt tight enough. Okay, I'm going to pass this around for anybody to play with it, look at it, whatever they want to do with it. Okay? Don't actually put it around your neck. But a do-rag is a great device. Okay? We use things like triangle bandages. I can use a triangle bandage as a do-rag and make one with that. And I can use that as a tourniquet. You tie it 2 inches above the injury that is bleeding severely. Unless that 2 inches is at a joint. If it's at a joint, you go high and tight. So the only thing you need to remember when you have that brain fart out there wondering what you need to do, put a tourniquet on high and tight on any extremity you got. Now, legs, let me tell you about legs. Legs bleed more severely. You may have to put 2 tourniquets on the leg. That's something to think about, okay? What do you want to know about first aid?
So we need to buy a tourniquet. Put it in.
Everything. Okay, then we need to have a class.
That's a good idea.
Okay? You as a group,
Amen.
get a place, get together, and I will put on a class for you. I'll charge you what it costs me for the materials.
Jim's got that covered.
I will donate my time.
Use the money for that.
I will charge you in that first aid class. You will learn first aid. You will learn bloodborne pathogens. You will learn how to use an AED and do adult CPR in an 8-hour class.
So what?
The average biker carry with
Okay?
what else? What would you recommend we carry?
A first aid kit, obviously. Okay? What kind you carry is up to you. How big your bike, how big your saddlebag, how much room you got. My first aid kit,
Oh.
and that's my passenger when I go on long trips. In my saddlebag, when I go on trips, I carry one of these. When I'm doing rides, in a group ride, this is in my saddlebag. It's a defibrillator. We're going to play with it later.
Ted.
What you need in the first aid kit, you need large bandages.
Yeah.
You need something, and you can buy this at any sporting goods store, Walmart. You can even find this at Publix. A dressing that's called a hemostatic dressing. A hemostatic dressing is impregnated with material that clots blood. So here's how we treat wounds now, okay? The only bleeding I worry about, the only wound I worry about is a wound that has moving blood. If the blood is not moving, I don't care about the wound. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how bad it looks. Blood has to be moving out of it. Other than that, it's a distraction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh? You can't do anything about it. Yeah, you can tell it's there though, then I'll show you how.
I have bleed stuff that
It's a hemostatic dressing
but would
agent.
you, I mean, could I
pour the powder into the wound and then cover that wound.
So both.
Both. What we do is we pack wounds. Okay? You ever plug the tire? You plug a wound. You plug a wound, you put a large dressing over it. Now, after you've packed the wound and put pressure on it, wrap a bandage around it. Okay? There is a bandage called Coban. It's a stretchy gauze. Get some of those dressings because that stretch. Don't use ace wraps. Okay? Use that Coban. If a wound continues to bleed, I want to know it's bleeding. That's when I'm going to go to a tourniquet. I don't put a tourniquet on right away to a wound. What I'm going to do is pack the wound, plug the wound, cover the wound, wrap it, and then see what's happening to it. That's how I'm going to treat a wound. You need large dressings, you need Coban, you need hemostatic agents. Things like tourniquets, things like that. A small kit, you can do that. And you can make that yourself. That's a good question. Next question. Depends on where the break is. Okay? Arms and legs get broken. Question is, what if it's a break? What if you got a fracture? Okay? Fractures are painful, and there's a lot of swelling with it. Okay? When a fracture happens, you're bleeding internally. Let me tell you how much blood you lose. This is the ulnar radius. This is your humerus. This is your tib fib. When I break that, let me see the sides here. You will lose 16 ounces of blood in that closed fracture. Now, we can do that all day long. Once. How do I know I can safely lose 16 ounces of blood?
Because of the red
You ever donated blood? That's how much you give. Now, this bone right here, anybody know what that bone is? Femur.
Femur.
Okay? You break this femur, you will lose a liter of blood in a closed fractured femur. That's a lot of blood. Okay? Any of those fractures that you open, you're going to lose half more. Now, I have about 6.5 liters of blood in my body right now. I break this bone, I lose 1 of them. I break it and open it, I lose 1.5. I go to an embankment, I break both my femurs and open them, half of my blood volume gone like that. I'm going to go into shock quick. And now you're waiting 30 minutes on an ambulance.
No.
There's not a lot you can do.
Okay, my second question
You can stabilize, let me finish. You can stabilize it and hold it in place and wait.
dirt over the person.
In the first aid class, we'll teach you how to do splinting. But if you're not practiced in splinting, you need to sit there and wait. Keep it from moving.
What did you do for the shock?
Cover with a blanket.
Keep them warm.
Go to the sporting store and get an aluminum blanket. No matter what blanket. That'll help. Cover.
To give them the illegal.
My second question was what if that person is having a medical emergency and you're right? What, is there anything we can do to help?
Nope. You can't control that blanket.
Jump. I've thought about that more than once.
Did you? Okay. If you can reach your handlebars, if you can reach the throttle, if you can reach the clutch, if you can turn the key off.
What you're trying to do, if you're a co-rider, say you're a rider, if you're 7 miles an hour down the freeway, you can reach over, know where the kill switch is, go the bike gently. You're not going to save the bike, but pull it. The last thing you want to do is hit another car. Who wants to hit a car head on? That's probably where you're going.
This is the top secret
Just guide it off. It's going to finally slow down and fall.
But again, that requires you identifying that's going on and how quickly you can identify that.
Exactly.
The most cases that I've seen, they both crash.
Good.
In most cases. If you can catch it in time, if you can identify it in time, yeah. Yeah. Good question. Next question. Oh, come on. I know you're interested. Let me give you my first aid test. Okay? Can everybody see me? All right. If you can see me, hold up your right hand. Take your index finger and touch your thumb. Take your hand and touch your chin. How many did I get?
Oh,
I said, take your hand and touch your chin.
Right.
How many of you did this?
I did my
This is not my chin.
The reason I do that is this.
We played bubble.
When an emergency happens, a lot of people don't know what to do. And they get into it and they see it and they get drawn up into it. How many of you have watched paramedics and firemen work and do their job? How many times do you see us run?
Oh,
Never.
We don't. We don't. For one simple reason.
Running towards it.
I'm running away from it. We don't run because of a safety thing. Again, when somebody goes down an embankment, is it safe to go down there with them?
no.
Do you have the proper clothing on to walk down there? Some of you ladies wear some nice shoes, but they don't go down the bank very well. Okay? Boots, unless you got them on, something you can brace yourself with, it's hard to go down after somebody. Okay? On a highway, there's a lot of road wrecks. You dress for the slide, not the ride. We all know this. Okay? But we still break the rules. Especially in the summertime. We know this. Okay? Go to Daytona and watch. They don't wear nothing. Or Sturgis. But you got to plan and you got to prepare yourself. How are you going to respond to that? The first thing I'm going to do is say, is it safe? If it is not safe for me to go from point A to point B, I'm not going. Trust me on that, okay? Now, as a responder, I'm trained to do stuff like that. But the general layperson is not. So, I would much rather you stay safe, guide traffic, guide people, keep things moving around, somebody block whatever you need to do, especially if it's on the highway, and protect the group. We'll get to the person fine. We'll do what we can when we get there and take care of what we can. And that's all anybody can do, if you think about it. But again, riding in the mountains is great, it's fun, it's some of the best experiences you have, but it's also one of the most dangerous events you'll go on, guys. You have to plan your ride and ride your plan. It's just like scuba diving. We do the same rule. You need to follow the same rule. Plan your ride. Know where you're going. Know what's going to happen. Who knows what, when, where, and how. You guys do this already, I'm sure. Okay?
Well, for David, that'll be a first. No.
But y'all follow me everywhere.
Oh, we do.
He knows what I'm talking about. But you gotta plan your rides for incidents occurring. What are you gonna do if somebody goes down? If you don't plan for it, how are you gonna prepare for it? Who's gonna have the equipment? Who's gonna carry the first aid kit in your group? If you have a defibrillator, who's gonna carry that? Think about that. Think about those things. Plan for that. Plan for the areas you're going to be in. Do I have cell service in that area? Yeah.
I have the best spot when I go to vacation. I mean, that's something that, because it's very accurate.
There are devices like that, and they're great to have. Okay? If you make long trips, I recommend getting a satellite phone. You'll get service. If you're going on long trips, stuff like that, in mountainous areas, I would consider somebody having a satellite phone. I've done that on trips. What else, guys? What else you want to know about first aid?
Question.
Who said that? Where did it come from? Ed.
We have talked about having a satellite phone just because 911.
We have discussed getting a satellite phone because of that problem. We get up in the mountains and we don't have service. Even 911, I know it's supposed to be anywhere, but it's not always available. Do you have a particular satellite service that you think would be real for us to have as a group that's not costing arm and a leg?
No, I don't, because the people that I've ridden with have had it themselves and they've taken care of it. I just used it.
Okay.
So I don't have a recommendation.
Second, we have tried to take a first aid course before. Ted and I went to the North Georgia college to take a first aid course. And
I'm sorry.
And I know it didn't turn out good. So we are very interested in taking your course. So we know we want to have that.
You got it. You tell me when and where. Okay? If you ain't got a place, trust me, I do. I'll bring you to my church. I got a whole basement to put you in. I can fit everybody in this room in this basement.
And you have all your equipment there.
I can get it there. I can get it there. Yeah. Like I said, you will learn CPR, you'll learn first aid, you'll learn bloodborne pathogens, because if it's wet, sticky, and ain't yours, don't touch it. Okay? Huh?
You already got me on that one.
I did. What can I say? Yes, you'll be certified. You're going to get a certification in first aid and CPR and
Definitely worth having.
lasts for 2 years. And then guess what? 2 years I'll be back and we'll do another group. And we'll do it again, and we'll do it again, guys. You cannot learn first aid enough.
Last time.
20. We'll do 20 one day, we'll do 20 the next day. I mean, we'll do it till everybody what I recommend is this. Take a core group of people and train them in the full program. Then take everybody else and let me teach them CPR and AED. That way you've got a great tier group set up. You got a bunch of people who know CPR, because that's one of the most likely things that's going to happen is a cardiac arrest. Okay? Look at the average age in the room. Okay? And I use one of them. Okay? I say average age. IR, one of them. Okay? Think about it. Okay? Like I said, I've been a paramedic, guys, all these years. And the most interesting thing about being in this job, 60 to 70% of all chest pain patients I respond to were younger than I was on any given day. I had a friend, he went to work on a Friday night and had chest pain. Blew it off. He came home, he worked night shift. He came home. He went to work the next night, having chest pain. Blew it off. Now, he lives in his sister's and her husband's family's basement. His routine on Sunday morning when he came home was to come home, to go downstairs, take a shower, come up and eat breakfast. He went home, took a shower, started walking up the stairs, and went into cardiac arrest. My friend was a security guard at the hospital emergency room. Let me talk to you about chest pain. Let me talk to you about that, okay? How many know if somebody's having chest pain that you give them aspirin?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in this room needs to know that.
That saves their organs for transplant.
It does. No. The thing about aspirin, okay, everybody that has a first aid kit needs to have chewable aspirin in it.
Yep.
Back in our day, we called it baby aspirin.
Yes.
We don't call it that anymore, but it is chewable aspirin. 81 milligram chewable aspirin. Listen to me carefully. If anybody that you know walks up to you and the words chest pain come out of their mouth, sit their ass down and give them 4 chewable aspirin right then and there. But you got to have it to do it.
Yes.
The next thing you do is call 911. I'm telling you right now, do not mess around with chest pain. If chest pain comes out of their mouth, those are the 3 actions you're going to take. You sit their ass down, you give them 4 chewable aspirin, and you call 911. Because I have come out to people's houses, and I will do that an unlimited number of times, and say, no, you don't need to go. I will only come out to your house one time and tell you, not you, but your family, I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong. I've lost count in my career how many times I've had to say that to a family member. Chest pain is nothing to mess around with.
And everybody's symptoms is different.
And what?
I said everyone's symptoms can be different.
Oh, you ladies, let me tell you something. You're likely to die from your first heart attack. You are, simply, okay?
You're feeling all warm and cozy now.
I am. Your symptoms are totally different than mine, okay? Your symptoms, the biggest thing that gives me a clue to a cardiac event in a female is fatigue. Now don't let that scare you, but fatigue is one of the #1 classic signs. Constant fatigue. Okay?
Are you okay, Karen?
Flu-like symptoms.
9 o'clock for
Oh no, Karen, really, are you okay?
9 o'clock.
Hey, Karen, take that tourniquet.
Karen? I know the number to 911. But fatigue, flu-like symptoms, those could be a sign of a cardiac event in a female. I had a lady one time, the only pain she had was in her wrist. I put a 12 lead on her.
Oh, shit. And I'm a little tired.
I did that one good. I put a 12 lead EKG on her. There is a rhythm we in EMS affectionately call tombstones.
Oh, Jesus.
Because it actually looks like a tombstone on the EKG rhythm. Honey, you dying. Okay? You dying if that happens. So don't mess around with chest pain. Please don't mess around with chest pain. Other questions?
What do you have those symptoms day to day? Where did you have those same symptoms day to day?
Go see your doctor now. Tomorrow. And what he say? We don't want to violate HIPAA in this room. As long as you're in contact with your doctor. That's what's important. Yeah. If you're having these symptoms, people, contact your doctor. Because you know what your doctor's going to tell you to do? Call 911.
How about a TIA?
A TIA. How about an MOUSC on top of it? Okay. A TIA is a medical term for a trans-ischemic attack, a stroke. So let's teach you how to identify strokes, okay? I want everybody in this room to smile for me. I want to see those pearly whites. Somebody having a stroke can't do that.
Nope.
That step up like this.
Yep.
How many of you have been to the dentist and he numbs your mouth and you talk like this for a while?
That's what happens. It feels like your whole mouth is numb. But the person doesn't know it's numb. Okay? They can't tell. Okay? Raise your hands up. Praise the Lord. Okay. If you can lift both of your hands together at the same time, you're not having a stroke. Yay!
Shake my hand.
Okay? A person, hold my mic, will raise one arm and the other one will drop. Now,
Been there.
let me tell you this. The right side of the brain controls the left side of the body. The left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. People who are left-handed are in their right mind.
Yeah!
There you go. I knew I'd hit a home run here, okay? What happens is this. If you have a right brain stroke, the right side of your face will slough off.
Yep.
Your right vision will get blurred. Your speech will talk like this. You can't tell me yes. Okay? You're slurring your words. You're stuttering in a sense that you can't talk properly. But the left side of your body will get flaccid. I won't be able to raise my left arm. That's a right brain stroke.
Yep.
Left brain stroke, opposite. Okay? When that happens, here's the deal, guys. You have a 3-hour window to get you to a stroke center, to get that clot removed, or to get that hemorrhagic stroke taken care of. There are 2 types of stroke. One's called an ischemic stroke, which means it's a clot. The other one is a hemorrhagic stroke. If you survive a hemorrhagic stroke, it's that aneurysm we talked about. You ever seen a bubble on a tire? Your pressure goes up, boom, it pops. You have a subdural bleed now. If you survive that, you might get 30% of your body use back.
Tell me.
Surviving a hemorrhagic stroke. Yeah, survive. You're lucky. They caught you in time. Okay? Ischemic strokes, I've got a 3-hour window to get you to a stroke center. That chest pain and that heart attack I was talking about, let me back up the inch just a minute. When you have your coronary artery either blocked, clogged, or vasoconstricted, what happens is blood can't get to your heart muscle and heart tissue, which has got to have to survive, okay? When that occurs, this is called ischemia. Insult, okay? No damage is done yet. But if you ignore that ischemia, then the infarct, okay, myocardial infarction happens. And when you have a heart attack, part of your muscle of your heart actually dies.
Yep, that's what happened to my dad.
Now, depending on how much of that muscle dies, is going to determine whether you die or not. You know people that have a heart attack and living today? Not enough of their heart muscle mass died, okay?
Right here, John.
Back here too? Okay. You guys know what I'm talking about. How long, let me ask you a question. How long did you wait before you sought medical attention? How long did you let it go on?
I didn't wait long at all. I went to a convenience store 2 blocks away and bought aspirin.
Oh.
Treated the aspirin. And then I went to my doctor's office 2 other blocks away and said, I think I'm having a heart attack. They said the aspirin's what saved my life.
Yay.
But how long did the...
I broke it. I went to the ER and 10 minutes after he was going
You're the
to
man.
call.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah, you saved your heart. You literally saved your heart. You delayed the care. Don't wait, guys. Okay, if you called 911, they would have brought you the aspirin, they would have taken you to the doctor. Problem solved.
No, he was right there.
Yeah, but still, he should have called 911. There's treatment we can give people instead of him walking here and walking here and then stopping over here.
Quicker than 911.
Yes.
Yeah, get that roofing job done.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that you can tell them the importance of calling 911 versus thinking you can drive them to the emergency room.
Oh my God. Guys, your cars have headlights and horns. They don't have red lights and sirens. I got news for you. I drove an ambulance in downtown Atlanta. They wouldn't get out of my way. You think they're going to get out of yours? And here's the deal. Let me tell you this.
Yeah, but I do.
If you ever decide to put somebody in a car, how many people need to be in that car? 3. Don't forget the victim. Okay? Please make sure you put the victim in the car.
I knew there was something I was
There was something you forgot. Okay? There needs to be a second person. Where do you need to be? Do you need to go, I know CPR, I'll drive. Think about that. You need to be in the back with the victim. What other questions you got? Good questions.
But I thought part of it was because the 911 people, the people that show up, can start treatment.
We do. We start treatment immediately.
And it can get you into the proper care at the hospital sooner than you can get it.
If you are having if you walk into any ER and say chest pain, you're going back. Okay? You are going back. That's a magic word. Don't try this, it ain't true. Okay? Please.